This is Cyclamen Dye, and it's the rarest item in all of Skyblock. No. I'm sick of these intros. They're so generic. It's insane. Do something else. Ugh, fine. March 1st, 2022. The day Skyblock got the Master Mode 7 update and also the dye update, which added various dyes that could be used to customize your armor. Before this, there wasn't a way to do that outside of bugs and glitches. All of the dyes have ridiculous drop rates, from 1 in a million to 1 in 100 million. Most of the more common dyes got dropped in the first few weeks or months of the update's release, and the rest of the rare ones got dropped within about a year. But Cyclamen Dye was never obtained. It has a 1 in 100 million drop rate, tied in rarity with Celeste Dye, but Celeste Dye got dropped faster and more frequently. Why? Well, Celeste Dye is dropped from wolves in the hub castle, and Cyclamen Dye is dropped from mushroom cows in the mushroom gorge specifically. I'll give you a second to figure out the issue. For all the cavemen watching, I'll explain it. Everyone grinds wolves. The hub castle is the best place to do wolf slayer right now, because in the howling cave there are always 30 random nons waiting to kill seal you. But mushroom cows? When was the last time you needed to grind mushroom cows? Exactly, literally never. They're useless, so nobody grinds them and nobody drops a die. Even with nobody grinding them, they obviously die sometimes, so everyone knew it was only a matter of time before some random guy gets one by accident. And on April 9th, a little over 2 years after the item was added, someone finally dropped it. Despite taking 2 years to get, the admins didn't balance the drop rate at all, even though they said they would. But at least at this rate, someone can dye a set by the year 2028. Unsurprisingly, the person who obtained it was BluAnubis, some random non who joined a month ago. But thankfully, he's one of the good ones. Instead of just taking the first offer some attention-hungry scammer gives them, Anubis decided to go to the forums and ask everyone what the value is. And everyone who saw the post, including myself, told him that he quite literally just got the rarest item in the entire game. What's it worth? Well, it's basically priceless. Because there are a bunch of people who just refuse to quit the game, a lot of people want to collect rare items. And because Cyclamen Dye is the rarest, a lot of degenerate no-lives are creating demand for the item, but Anubis controls 100% of the supply. So if he says it's worth 1 trillion, then nobody can argue with it, because who else are they going to get it from? Anubis went from farming mushroom cows for a few minutes to having a monopoly, and despite that, he decided to keep the dye after finding out about the value. Right now, he's keeping it displayed on his island and said that even if he wanted to, he literally couldn't sell it, which is true. It's not very easy to get 100 billion coins into the trade menu. But despite openly saying he doesn't want to sell it, has no plans to give it to anyone, and is refusing party invites, that hasn't stopped people from trying to scam, lie, and clout farm off the entire thing. Which brings us to the next segment of the video, The only consistent thing about endgame Skyblock players and YouTubers is that they're usually clout-hungry, egotistical idiots who only care about themselves and their ego. It's no surprise that people would try to scam Anubis out of his dye, but I was genuinely surprised how hungry for attention some of these people are, especially the YouTubers. Nobody forgets that this clown has tried, and I think successfully scammed people out of their dyes by tricking them into a lowball trade. Not to mention that he's just a literal lunatic, but I can't confirm if he's tried to buy the Cyclamen Dye. I just wanted to dunk on him a bit. The most egregiously egotistical remark I've seen so far was by Squid Kid, which I didn't expect. I've never watched his content, but I've never expected him to be an egotistical guy. If you don't get what I mean, then take a look at this clip. For context, he's talking about Anubis and his dye.
Sell it, I hope. Guys, should I ask them if they want me to hold it for them, since my account is top level security? It's impossible for me to get hacked. Do you think he's on? I could be that dude's vault. He's been ignoring party invites? Yeah, but I'm a YouTuber. So surely, I wouldn't even like... I genuinely wouldn't like steal it from him. I would just hold it for him so he's not like a target of getting hacked.
Yeah, not great. He's obviously being semi-sarcastic when he says he's a YouTuber when talking about party invites, but he knows it's true even if he tries to brush it off as sarcasm, not to mention the entire rest of the clip. Guys, I just got back from the hospital and I have horrible news. Squid Kid, he was just diagnosed with big ego syndrome, stage 4. Seriously though, the sheer level of ego you have to possess to think that someone would trust you with the rarest item in the game just because you have top level security is absurd. On top of that, YouTubers hardly have top level security. They have basic 2-factor authentication inside of Hypixel, which isn't even that good. YouTubers have been hacked before and will be hacked in the future. It doesn't matter how good your security is. It only takes one mistake to get all your info stolen. Saying something like Squid Kid said publicly and unironically is just irresponsible, and I don't know why YouTube ranks aren't held to a higher standard than they are. Alright, next YouTube idiot, who do we have? Right, Nitros. For those of you who don't know, I'll sum up Nitros in 4 words. Boring, lazy, unoriginal, clickbait. Guys, I I just got back from the hospital again. Nitros, he was diagnosed with generic Skyblock YouTubeitis. The side effects are shitty YouTube content. Here, I'll do an impression of this Nitros video. Hey guys, this guy dropped a super rare dye. I'll now spend 2 minutes talking about it with editing that looks like it took me less time than that. And then I'll spend 6.5 minutes rambling about vaguely related topics to stretch the video to 8 minutes so I can put 4 mid-rolls over the footage of me holding the Optifine zoom button in third person. And there you go. I just saved you 8.5 minutes. You're welcome. Now, I can't dunk on Nitros too hard. He's been doing this exact format with these kinds of topics forever. It's not exactly new behavior that he whipped out just to clout farm off of Anubis' dye, but I'm gonna hate on him anyways because I despise lazy and greedy content. Now, to be honest, none of this really matters because Anubis is actually a great guy, and he doesn't mind the attention or anything else at all, and he's glad so many people helped him on the forums. Because of that, I'm sure nothing will happen to him or the dye, but that's not the issue. The problem is, what if it was someone else? What if someone who didn't know to ask people the value of their item got the dye? What if they didn't want the attention or were the kind of people to worship anyone with a YouTube rank? What could have happened? Would some clown like Swavey have bought the dye for only $1 billion? Would Squid Kid have it right now? Would the attention brought to them by a YouTuber's video make them sell the dye to get people to stop partying them and spamming them? None of these things should be a problem. But because YouTube ranks are held to such a dreadfully low standard, all of those things could have been actual possibilities if someone other than Anubis dropped the dye. And that's just pathetic. That's the real point of this video. Yeah, Anubis dropping the dye is a cool thing, but I really just wanted to point out how people who should be setting an example and acting respectfully are usually some of the worst behaving people in the game, and I doubt that's going to change. So guys, if you could, please consider subscribing so I can get YouTube rank and do a bunch of terrible things without any consequences.